Right now, the polls close in 2 hours in Dane County. A look at the local primary races and the Madison mayoral candidates.
And a Beloit teacher has been arrested on tentative charges of sexual assault of a child. What we know about the case.
Plus, thousands of golf balls spill onto a Rock County highway overnight, and it has some getting ready for those warmer days.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us tonight. It is primary election day in Dane County.
While there aren't any state primaries, there are some important races locally. Keely Arthur joins us live on the west side at one polling center. Keely?
Hi there, we're at Sequoia Library. This is an area with generally pretty good voter turnout. About 30% of registered voters have voted here today. The city saying overall 13% of registered voters voting in Madison. The big draw, of course, is the race for Madison Mayor. Madison Mayor Paul Soglin looking to add 4 more years to his 22 years in the office, but 5 others looking to take him down, including Satya Rhodes Conway, a former alder and head of the Mayor's Innovation Project at the UW, current city alder Mo Cheeks, who also serves as a VP at a software company, Raj Shukla, the director of conservation group River Alliance of Wisconsin. The city's race equity coordinator, Toriana Petaway, is running as a write-in candidate after falling 1 signature short of getting on the ballot. And last but not least is comedian Nick Hart, looking to become the first professional comic to lead Madison. Now, the 2 with the most votes tonight will advance to the general election. That is in April. For more on the candidates' platforms, you can go to channel3000.com, and you still have about 2 hours to vote. Polling closes at 8.
Keely Arthur live at Sequoia Library tonight. Keely, thank you.
Now here are the other key races on Dane County ballots today. 4 Madison City Council seats are up for grabs. 3 Madison School Board seats, a Fitchburg City Council seat, and the village president in Brooklyn. As Keely mentioned, we'll have the most up-to-date results tonight.
Police arrested a Beloit High School teacher today. 53-year-old Scott Abbott of Rockford is facing a tentative charge of sexual assault of a child by a school staff person. We featured Abbott in a story last August. According to a release, police said the investigation involves a report of inappropriate touching at Beloit Memorial High School. Police did not specify when the incident took place. State health officials have reported the first pediatric flu death of the season in Wisconsin. They say the child was from the southeastern part of the state and had not been vaccinated. Children's Hospital of Wisconsin says the tragedy is a reminder to people that they can still get flu shots. As of February 9th, 13 people had died of flu in Wisconsin, 10 of whom were 65 years of age or older.
To weather now, we are getting ready for even more snow tonight. Anywhere from an additional inch to even 5 inches is expected in some areas. Let's get your first alert forecast. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joining us on the backyard patio. Dave?
Yeah, and the timing of this system, Eric, could present some challenges. Coming in, that snow will be in the time that we are out on the morning commute tomorrow. So on Doppler track, still pretty quiet across southern Wisconsin. Starting to see some light returns try to fall closer to northeastern Iowa, but I do think that closer to about 2 or 3 a.m. is when that snow moves into southern Wisconsin, more specifically into the Madison area. Live look in Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. They'll see the snow a little bit earlier compared to Madison, right around midnight to 1 a.m. Temperatures right now are in the low to mid 20s across southern Wisconsin with the wind chill. Not too bad, but it still does feel like the teens in Madison and Lone Rock, Viroqua, and the Dells feeling like 14 right now. Your day planner as we head into the overnight hours, clouds on the increase, then that snow starts early tomorrow morning. It will be with us for the morning commute on Wednesday, and things start to die down a little bit as far as snowfall activity goes closer to the late afternoon and early evening. We'll talk about the potential of some freezing rain mixing in with that snow in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. Police are investigating a claim that a high school girls show choir team was recorded while changing prior to a competition in January. The Orfordville Parkview Girls Show Choir was competing at Milton High School when a member allegedly found a cell phone set up to record the girls. Police say they are investigating. The Dodgeville Police Department is asking business and homeowners who have surveillance cameras to let them know.
Police believe this can save time and create another tool to solve crimes. Amanda Quintana is in studio with more on why this database is needed. Amanda?
Yes, well, the city of Dodgeville doesn't have its own surveillance system. So right now, when a crime happens or police are looking for someone, they turn to cameras in front of businesses or homes. But they have to go out and find them first by canvassing neighborhoods and asking people. Dodgeville police believe having a map of where all the cameras are and which way they face would cut time and make things easier.
We want to map all the different locations that it is so that the officers can say there should be a camera in this area. We're going to go and we're going to check with them to see if we can have access to that.
This is completely voluntary. You can always deny a request for footage, but the footage could be subject to a court order eventually. Right now, police have only heard from a handful of residents, but they hope with how popular surveillance cameras have become, there are a lot out there and more people will reach out.
Disability rights advocates are praising a bipartisan measure at the state capitol. The bill would remove the R word from the Wisconsin Administrative Code and Administrative Rules and replace it with the phrase individuals with intellectual disabilities. The bill's author, Representative John Jagler, says the proposal is long overdue.
Democrats and healthcare advocates are dismissing a new report which says Medicaid expansion in Wisconsin would shift $600 million a year to the private insurance market. Republican lawmakers praised the study, saying it bolsters their argument against Medicaid expansion in Wisconsin. The study comes from a conservative group housed at the UW. Democratic legislative leaders also discounted that report. Today is 2019 Alzheimer's Advocacy Day. It is the 6th leading cause of death in Wisconsin and the United States. Today, more than 200 advocates are attending legislative meetings at the Capitol, pushing for continued state help. They're asking lawmakers for an expansion of the Dementia Care Specialist Program that helps individuals and their caregivers, and a renewal of the Alzheimer's Awareness Grant.
We actually have an awareness campaign that kicked off today that's helping to draw attention to not only the disease, but to the resources that are available to individuals who have Alzheimer's or may have Alzheimer's, and the resources that are available to them and their caregivers.
You can find that information at their website, alz.org/Wisconsin. Statistics show there are 110,000 people in the state suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia. That number is expected almost double in the next 20 years.
Golfers in Rock County have their eye on the city of Janesville. It's not a new course. Instead, something that may have them wanting to grab their clubs and head to the links. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with what happened that has people so excited. Adam?
Well, Charlotte, some people would say that winter is a relatively quiet time for golfers, but after some precious cargo was left for the taking overnight in Janesville, it's got people wondering what they would do if it happened to them.
Ooh, good. Come on, baby. Come on.
In February, the only golfers you'll find in Wisconsin are inside. Just ask Bill Stroner or his friends Jeff and Steve, who took Tuesday afternoon to visit Riley's on the Green, where they could do a hole 18 indoors.
It's great to come here to Riley's and work on our swings and work on our trash talk with one another as well.
These three love golf.
I've been golfing with these couple of guys for probably 25 plus years.
And during their years playing together, outside, not inside, they've lost their fair share of golf balls for whatever reason.
Some of us lose more than others.
But in one night, a truck driver making their way through Janesville lost more than Bill, Jeff, or Steve combined, as it dropped 5,000 golf balls out of the truck littered along Highway 14, right in Valerie Kopach's front yard.
We own both houses, so I'm going to be out here with a trash bag. It appears people have already found the golf balls, so I also have a lot of trash to pick up.
5,000 balls.
I would say that's probably about $10,000 worth of balls at $2 a piece.
Riley's on the Green owner Kevin Riley says he can't imagine finding 5,000 balls at once.
I'd be set for life. I wouldn't need another golf ball.
And while the lifelong golfer might be a little jealous the balls didn't wind up in his yard, he says one day that truck driver's mulligan might make for a story that's a hole-in-one.
Even in the winter, you can lose a golf ball. And the guy who dropped the truck, that they fell off of, whatever, he's got a great story. He's probably lost the most golf balls any other player has.
And Valerie Kopach says she got some help cleaning up all those empty boxes out of her yard. And if you're thinking about heading down there to get some free balls, don't bother. She says most of them were gone by today at 11 a.m. Still an early treat for some golfers getting ready to hit the links this spring.
A very nice and surprising treat. Adam Duxter in the Rock County Bureau tonight. Adam, thank you. Still ahead tonight, your full forecast for the rest of the week, including more on the overnight snowstorm.
But first, find out why a local woman is putting life back into some old, broken pianos. A News 3 Now exclusive. That's next.
Welcome back. The sound of music has given life to one woman in Sun Prairie for decades, and now she's giving life right back.
Jamie Perez shares how the Piano Gal is changing lives one piano at a time.
I'm very lucky to do what I do.
For more than 30 years, the piano has brought life to Marta Hansen.
Just always loved music. I've always wanted to make things and create things.
It started with her first piano when she was 7 years old. It's been giving her life for decades, but now she's ready to return the favor.
So I know I'm actually giving it life back.
She brings life back to pianos that are broken beyond repair.
Pianos just sit in basements. They sit on curbs.
Until Marta gets a hold of them and turns them into, well, anything you want.
It's awesome. It's really cool. It's really important to me to create what the client wants and not what I want.
She's made bookshelves, benches, and vanity mirrors. Every piece she makes has special meaning to the owner, especially this one.
My dad had early onset Alzheimer's and he died 5 years ago. And I grew up in Los Angeles, and his piano was the only piece of furniture I brought back. There was nothing we could do with it. It was completely ruined. And I was pretty upset. My dad and I were really close.
Kate Herrick's father didn't know who she was for the last 6 years of his life. This piano is all she had left of him when she moved it here from California. But when Kate and Marta met through a mutual friend, Kate's father and all the spirit he had were brought back into Kate's home.
That I asked Marta to put the sheet music onto the bar so that the music was where my father's fingers were when he played.
Each song, one of her dad's favorites to play.
To see how special it is to her and to see how meaningful it is to her really just keeps me wanting to do more of these projects and keep these memories alive for people.
Keeping memories alive is what Marta does now, transforming lives the same way the piano transformed her life.
I remember when Marta finished it and she sent me the pictures, I cried because it meant so much to have. This feels like my dad's here. I mean, the music and the alcohol, and it's still his, but it's him in a different place, kind of like now he's in a different place too.
in Sun Prairie.
She made a huge difference in my home.
Jamie Perez, News 3 Now.
Well, that's beautiful work, isn't it? If you're interested, Marta said she is happy to help restore your piano to give it new meaning and value in your home. A link to her website is on ours, channel3000.com. Still ahead tonight in sports, a preview of our game of the week. And we hear from the reigning NL MVP, Christian Yelich, as he gears up for the 2019 season.
But first, another snowstorm is on the horizon that may impact your morning commute tomorrow. Dave Caulfield will have his first alert forecast when we come back. So we have 90-degree weather coming up, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's the
full
rumor.
denial. Yeah, just full, just in deep denial that anything winter-related is happening. But we do actually have to talk about winter. Well, at least let's talk about the beautiful side of winter. Check out this photo from just south of Monroe. Michelle sending this in of some fog in the snow early this morning when temperatures were at -5. This is definitely picture-perfect weather if you just look at the picture and don't have to be outside in the weather. But we have to be outside at times, and for tomorrow, we do have 2 to 5 inches of snowfall on the way, an alert day in the forecast. We also do have a chance of some freezing rain and drizzle, especially south and east of Madison as we get into the late morning and early afternoon hours. So lots to keep in mind, especially just in time for the morning commute for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like on Doppler track. We have a messy system that's going to cause this snow a little bit later on overnight. We have some heavy rain moving into spots like Memphis, into portions of Tennessee and Kentucky. We have some snow to the north. Nothing across southern Wisconsin right now, although some light returns are starting to show up across northeastern Iowa. I do still think it will be about 6 hours before that snow arrives across southern Wisconsin. Right around midnight for southwestern Wisconsin, that snow moves in. And it's not out of the question, folks, that with this latest round of snow on the way for tomorrow, we could potentially get above, or at least very close to, our seasonal snowfall average. And that hasn't happened. We haven't had an above average snowfall season in Madison in 5 years. The last time, 2013 to 2014, when we received about 60 inches of snow, or about 9 inches of snow ahead of schedule at the present time, and that number could go up by the end of tomorrow. Live look at Madison on the Edgewater Skycam at mostly cloudy skies. We'll see the clouds on the increase later tonight as well. Temperatures in the low to mid 20s across southern Wisconsin with the wind chill. Not too bad, but it does make it feel a little bit closer to 15 in Madison, 14 in the Dells, and 11 farther north in Wautoma. Now, your futurecast for tonight, increasing clouds. That snow develops late. I think it moves into Madison closer to about 2 or 3 a.m. on Wednesday. So on Future Track, we're noticing the clouds on the increase tonight, but still staying rather quiet. That changes closer to the start of the morning commute when that snow moves in. It will be snowing for about 3 or 4 hours before the start of the morning commute. So we still could be looking at some slick roads at times. Then by the time we get to the afternoon and evening, the activity is really dying down overall, but we still could see a few spots of freezing drizzle and also some flurries before things really quiet down on Thursday with highs in the low 30s. So by the time everything is said and done, about 2 to 5 inches of new snow possible for much of southern Wisconsin, a little bit less to the south and east, but the chances of freezing rain or freezing drizzle go up as you head to the south and east of Madison. Your 7 to 10 day forecast, we're looking at temperatures in the mid 30s as we head into this weekend with another chance of mixed precipitation on Saturday and Sunday.
Hey, it could be a good night to stay in and watch some high school basketball. We've got a feud in the Big 8 at La Follette High School tonight. We're live from our Prep Mania Game of the Week. That's next in sports. Well, we've got some Big 8 boys basketball tonight for our Prep Mania Game of the Week. The top spot in the conference already set, but the battle for second place still wide open. And that's where we find our Jay Wilson. He joins us live now from La Follette High School. Hi there, Jay.
Hi, Melissa. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, Madison East has clinched the Big 8 Conference Championship, but Sun Prairie and Madison La Follette still are very much in the running for second place in the Big 8. And as we turn to John Boyle, the last time these two teams played, La Follette won 105-104 in 2 overtimes. We're going to get 209 points again tonight?
I don't think that's going to happen. That was a once in a millennium type game, I think.
Yeah, okay, well, here we are, late stages of the regular season. Tournament's just around the corner. You don't want to have a stinker in a game like this, right?
No, this is a tough time of year for coaches. This is where you really earn your money. You know, the kids are, you're waiting for the tournament. The conference race has been decided already. And if you have I've always felt that if at this time of year, if you have a bad game and you backslide, this is the worst time of year to do that because it's awful tough to backslide right now and bounce back for the tournament.
Yeah. All right, well, it should be an entertaining game if nothing else. Sun Prairie and Madison La Follette will be on live, channel3000.com at 7:15 tonight. Hope to see you then. Melissa, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Jay. Cannot wait for this one. The Badgers had quite the supporting cast last night in the 64-58 win over Illinois, bringing their 2-game losing streak to an end. Khalil Iverson was fired up last night. Both head coaches jokingly said Khalil has something about playing against orange and blue uniforms. A season-high 16 points, 9 rebounds, and a lot of heart. And Brevin Pritzel contributing 6 points and 10 rebounds off the bench. But Pritzel's value isn't just about the numbers, according to head coach Greg Gard. He's got a lot of intangibles that make him special.
We've had a boatload of guys like that here too, that, you know, the sum of the whole is greater than the parts. And Brevin's one of those guys that helps. You know, you look at him, how's he playing there? How's he getting that many minutes at Wisconsin? He does little things that help teams win. And he has a great understanding of the game. He's very cerebral, and sometimes he talks too much when he comes by me on the sideline, but as long as he keeps rebounding and making shots and playing defense, that's fine.
Some baseball now. It's playing quite the busy offseason for Christian Yelich. He spent time helping his hometown of Thousand Oaks, California recover from the wildfires, and he was most recently in New York City to accept his National League MVP award. So he felt like he needed to get back into baseball gear ASAP. He got to Phoenix on Friday, 4 days ahead of when position players were required to arrive. Now Yelich admitting that's kind of nice not being the new kid on the block anymore, and he's so ready to get started.
I didn't really know anybody. It was basically like the new school feeling of just having to introduce yourself to a lot of different people, learn a lot of different names, how things work, and it's been nice just to come in and see a lot of familiar faces and understand how things are going to, hopefully we can repeat what we did last year, and you know, basically that just goes by taking it day by day and not really getting caught up in where you want to be in September when it's February.
And it is February indeed. Does not feel like it at all, suppose, here, as opposed to there.
Everybody in Wisconsin, by the way, knows his name now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They do now. All right.
And they know that more snow is on the way. We definitely know Mother Nature's name at this point as we head into tomorrow. Snow will be around for the morning commute. It will start to die down a little bit by the afternoon and evening hours. Highs will be in the mid-30s.
Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.